Okay, so good to have you guys. Today we're looking at what we call exponentiation. Right, so the first question we want to ask is, what is exponentiation? Exponentiation is just the act of raising one number to the power of another number. So how do we achieve that in Python? In Python, we use two star signs or two asterisks. Okay, so let's see this at work. So I'm going to go into my text editor here. So as you can see, this is already zoomed out. You guys can actually see. Let me try and zoom it one more time. Okay, so we say raising a number to the power of another. So let's assume I want to raise 2 to the power of 2. So 2, and then I have to remember to use these two star signs and then put another 2. Okay, so 2. So this simply means 2 to the power of 2. All right, so what is 2 to the power of 2? 2 to the power of 2 is 2 by 2. Okay, so the answer is 4, right? So I can run this, and you can see down here, this is a 4. All right, so right now, I'm raising an integer to the power of an integer, as you guys can see, and the answer is an integer. An integer simply means a whole number. Okay, so I can also chain these exponentiations. All right, so I can chain the exponentials. So how do I chain the exponentials? I can just add on another exponential here and then to the power of 2. So what is 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 2? Okay, so I can solve this from the left to the right. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. And then 4 to the power of 2, that's 4 by 4, which is 16. So if I run this, as you guys can see down here, it's 16. So you can actually do the chaining of exponentials in Python. All right, so this is straightforward, simple and straightforward. So if you go back to our exercise, you can see this is what they're trying to explain when we can go ahead and answer this question. So they are saying fill in the blank to output 5 raised to the third power. So how do you raise 5 to the third power? So if I want to raise 5 to the third power, what I have to do is I have to write 5 and then double asterisk and then 3, just like this. So this means 5 has been raised to the third power. So what is 5 to the third power? 5 by 5 by 5, right? So 5 by 5 is 25, 25 by 5, which is 125. So if I'm to check this out, you can see 125 down here, but they are not looking for 125. They just, asking us to put in the double asterisk here to raise 5 to the third power, and then we can check the answer. That's the correct answer. Okay, the next thing we want to do is, instead of working with whole numbers, now we want to work with decimal point numbers, okay, or the ones that we call floats. Let's say I raise 9 to the power of parentheses 1/3. Okay, so what does this mean? This simply means the cube root of 9, okay, the cube root of 9. So what is the cube root of 9? So we can actually check this out. You can see down here, the cube root of 9 is actually 2 point blah, 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 blah. That's a long number. Right, so why are we getting a float as a result? We're getting a float because we are performing an operation with a float. So any operation that you perform with a float number, the answer is always going to be a float. All right, let's say, let's find the square root. Now, if I raise 9 to the power of half, that is equated to the square root of 9. So what is the square root of 9? 3 by 3, right? So the square root of 9 is 3. So let's check this out. As you guys can see down here, it says it's 3.0. Why are we getting a float? Because this half is actually a float. So that's how we get this float number. Okay, so let's get back. This is what they're talking about here. They're talking about exponentiation with floats. So we can continue and try and answer this question. So what is the output of this code? Print 8 raised to the power of a third. So what do we get when we raise 8 to the power of a third? Okay, so 8 here raised to the power of a third. So that means the cube root of 8. So which number do we have to multiply 3 times to get 8? That's what it simply means. Okay, so we have to multiply 2 by 2 by 2. So the cube root of 8 is 2. So I can save this and run this. As you guys can see down here, it's 2.0. Why are we getting a float? Because this 1/3 is actually a float. So we can go back and try and answer this question. This is 2.0. So the first one here is the answer, 2.0. So I can check this out. As you guys can see, this is easy and straightforward. Okay, so that was it for today. Today we're looking at exponentiation, which is just raising a number to the power of another number. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I can answer those questions. All right, thank you for your time. I hope to see you in our next lesson. For now, bye-bye.